Hello, my name is Marios Karabakis. I am the photographer and owner of Photography Studio. In this video tutorial, I am going to show you in a more detailed manner my post-production workflow for retouching a diamond ring. First of all, I want to show you the common problems that we have with a diamond ring. For example, this white gold diamond ring or this yellow gold diamond ring. With this it's more easy to see what I mean. The common problem is these black spots that we have in the ring body. These black spots is created when the ring is being sampled from the jeweler maker. It's a common procedure that they do. They sample the ring and then give the ring to the photographer for shooting and post-production. Very rare, the jeweler has the time to return the ring to their workshop, polish the ring, then return the ring to the photographer for shooting. These black spots is created from sampling. When many people touch the ring with bare hands, the humidity of their fingers and sweat, small molecules of sweat, stay in the surface of the ring and cause oxidation of the metal surface of the ring and cause these black spots. Other problems for the retoucher or the photographer is how the photographer shoot the ring. This setup that I made, as you can see, I have support the ring with a very small 3mm thick clear plexiglass stick, and I have set up the lighting as to have pure white background. I have 3 or 4 lights, I don't remember, but we have pure white background. In many situations we don't have this white background, and we have a darker grey or gradient background. That is one of another common problem, except of the black spots. Other problem is bad reflections that we have from the environment of the studio, or because the shape or the bad construction of the ring. Let's talk about the retouching procedure, the post-production procedure. I have in my workflow 4 steps for the retouching procedure. First step is to do a clipping path around the ring. In this particular situation it's not needed to do, but I'm going to do it to see how I'm using the path tool and what exactly I'm doing. Second stage is to remove all the spots from the ring surface. Is the most time-consuming stage of the post-production, and I'm using mainly the healing tool, the clone tool and the brush tool. After that stage, I'm doing a smooth surface. I'm smoothing the surface of the ring with a Topaz filter, and then I'm cropping the ring in the resolution that client needs for his project. The fourth and last step is to sharpen all the surface of the ring. You may be wonder why I'm using sharpening for last step. Sharpening is crucial to be done in the resolution that we are going to use, because if I do sharpening in a high resolution and then downsampling my picture, I must do again another sharpen technique for showing best in this resolution. That's why the fourth step and the last step is to sharpen the ring in the resolution that is going to go to the customer, to the client, the final resolution. I'm keeping the high resolution for other use, but I'm not using sharpen to the high resolution because I don't know what output I'm going to do. Okay, let's begin with the first step of my reduction procedure, the clipping path. Before I start the clipping path, I want to say that I'm using a Wacom tablet, and I have everything in shortcut in my tablet. And if you think that I'm using the tools very fast, that's why, because I'm using for almost 13 years now only Wacom tablets, and I don't use any mouse or anything else. Okay, let's start with the procedure. I'm using a picture in 200 or 300% every time I'm doing clipping path, because I want to have the margin for error, and if you do an error in 200 or 300%, when you are going to downsampling the image, the error is going to be 2, 3 or 4 times smaller. I'm starting the clipping path from here, and I want to show you a tip. If you want this tangent to remove, because if you don't remove this tangent and click again and again, you have a problem, because this tangent line is distorting the Bezier curve. If you want the curve to be independent and don't have two tangents in every Bezier curve, you can click the option or Alt tool and cut the second tangent. I do it in every click I do in path, because I think it's more easy to control the clipping path and the Bezier tool, the Bezier curves. I have used to it, and I am working better with one tangent in every knob of Bezier. I'm working like this for all the length of the ring. I'm using also the command key if the path is not perfect. With the command key I reveal this white arrow, and I can't move everything to be perfect. I want more zoom to be more accurate. I think that 300% is best for this small portion of the ring. Okay, that was my clipping path procedure. I forgot one tiny hole here. I'm gonna shape it better. Okay, that's my path. Okay, my working path, I'm calling path 1. Now I'm going to double click the background to create a layer. I'm creating a new layer underneath my former background, and I'm painted with the white color. I'm creating a selection and a feather of 1 pixel, and I'm invert the selection with Command Shift I or Control Shift I in PC, and delete the background. This is not white. You can revert the black and white foreground and background with hitting D, and you can change the order foreground and background with X. Okay, and now we have the ring in a white background. Okay, 2 layers. I'm saving this project in PSD format in my desktop. Okay, and now I'm going to go in the second stage of my post-production technique to remove all these black spots and all the problems there. I am creating a new layer above of my ring layer. I'm going to call it ring. Okay, and in this layer I'm going to 300% and I'm starting to using first my healing brush tool. My healing brush tool is very good to do jobs like this spot that it's in the middle of the body of the ring, which it's not near a structure line of the ring like this or like that. We can remove it easily with the healing tool because we have the blending option, and it's a quick way to heal these spots. Okay, like that is the first and most common tool in Photoshop. You can see here that when I'm using the healing tool I have a more black shade, but I'm going to fix it with the next tool. I'm going to use first this tool for everything I can, and then I'm going to use another tool. But first I must do everything I can with the healing brush tool. Okay, you understand the procedure. I'm going to clean this line until here, and I'm going to proceed with the spots. It's very quick way, clear big surface of the ring. Usually surface in the middle of the ring without strokes and border near it. You see that this transition is not even, but I'm going to fix it with another tool. I'm proceeding with the same tool. I'm real time adjusting the brush size with my Wacom tablet buttons. It's very practical to use a tablet. Or a keyboard shortcuts, but tablet are more useful, even more useful than the keyboard shortcuts. As you can see, I'm using to fix everything that I know 100% that is going to fix it with this specific tool. Everything that I don't think it's going to fix this tool, I let it for the next tool. I'm going to pass with 4 or 3 tools in all the length of the ring, and every time I'm going to use one tool for any specific problem. Okay, now I think that I have covered most of the part that healing tool can be implemented, and I'm going to use my next tool in a different layer, and is my stamp tool. My stamp tool is very useful for areas like that or like that, which is near in a stroke or a border, because I can't use my healing tool. If I use my healing tool, for example there, is going to create with a blend mode a very bad blending, and that's why I'm going to use stamp tool, and I'm going to use a big brush, and I'm going to pick the border and duplicate it. Then, if it needs, I'm using the healing tool for blending. Okay, the same thing here, for example, with a stamp. If in any case I ruin the border of the ring, I can use my path and make a selection, and I can hide the selection, Command H, and I forgot, do feather 1 pixel, I think, hide the selection, and reapply the border. Okay, I'm going to build the selection again feather, again hide the selection, and again build with more confidence the border of the ring. Deselect the selection. I can use, in this particular situation, the blur tool to smooth my border, and then use healing again. No, not here. Okay, not healing, I want stamp. As you can see, the outcome is not perfect, but we're going to use another tool. It's not the final tool that we are going to use. That's why don't worry. We're going step by step and fixing, and when we are going to finish all the steps, the outcome is going to be more perfect and smooth. Okay, just like that I'm going to do with a stamp. Again I'm using combination of stamp tool at first, picking the color in a nearby area, and then with heel brush I'm smoothing the area. Okay. Now I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to build another layer, fourth layer, and I'm going to use brush. It's something similar. I'm going to use brush 30% opacity and hardness at 0%. I want to use a smooth brush and with opacity 30%. I'm using picker. My picker is not a point sample but 3x3 average sample to collect a sample of my color, and then with this brush I'm literally painting over the ring with the color. I'm constantly picking color. Okay, this is a very good method if you want to cover a big area which has uniform color. It's a quick method. Of course you can change the opacity if you want to do more quick, or the hardness of the brush. Okay, I can take 15 to K for this area to create more stroke. Okay, and then you can apply filter, blur, Gaussian blur, 1%, I think it's okay, to blur a little, and then you can also apply noise, 1 or 0.5, it's okay. If you see it in 100%, it's nearly perfect. Okay, go back again. In the next layer, same technique. I have brush, 35%, 15% hardness. I'm picking the color and I'm working in this highlight area. Okay, and then filter, blur, Gaussian blur, 1%, and then noise, add noise, 0.5. Okay, I can do something else here in the next layer. Again with a brush without hardness at all, a big brush. I'm picking this color and I want to create a smoother gradient from this tone to the darker tone. I'm doing that, then I'm doing filter blur, Gaussian blur, 2%, and then filter blur, motion blur, to create the gradient filling. And then if I want, I can apply noise. You can see that this a good result. I'm going again here with brush in a new layer again. I'm constantly changing layers, creating new layers, because I'm doing blur, Gaussian blur. I can't keep the same layer. Now I'm going to cover motion blur, but like that. Don't worry if we going out, because we have the path and we can fix it. Okay, I'm going again there. I'm doing blur, Gaussian blur only, and I'm going out there now. With this technique, I'm going to do the bigger portion of this ring, because this ring has more spots that usually a ring has, and I'm going to repeat the procedure, making a new layer, using a brush, soft and opacity around 30%. I'm painting, and then I can do filter blur, Gaussian blur, and then filter blur, motion blur. In this particular case, with this angle. Okay, and for the last step I'm using noise, add noise. This reflection, it's not so beautiful. I'm going to cover it with my brush, and then I'm going to blur, Gaussian blur 2%, blur, motion blur 20%, and then noise and noise. Okay, next layer, and here I'm going to use just healing tool, and then I'm going to reapply the brush method. Don't forget to save time to time. Here I'm going to increase the hardness because I am in the border and I want to create more structure line here and here. In this situation I have the problem that when I'm going to do the blur and the motion blur, I have the problem that with motion blur I'm going to create my gradient here that I want, but I am going to create a gradient inside here, and I'm going to do a layer mask with a brush 100% opacity and 28 hardness, and I'm going to clear the white inside here. Okay, I want to go here. That's a big problem here. Again with a brush around 30% and hardness 0. I'm going to heal this. area. I'm going to increase hardness a little to work more efficient here. Okay, something like that. And then I'm going to filter blur, Gaussian blur 1%, I don't need more. And filter noise, add noise. Maybe 1% is better here. Okay, as you can see, I'm going to group all these layers, select with Shift and Command G is grouping them, and we can see all the procedure that we are already did. I'm going to create a new layer inside the group, and with the brush tool I'm going to clean a bit this area. Filter blur, Gaussian blur, filter blur, motion blur, parallel, like that. New layer, fixing this transition from light gray to dark gray. Filter blur, Gaussian blur, filter blur, motion blur. It's the same angle, and noise, add noise 0.5. Okay, I don't like this transition either. I want to be more smooth. Okay, filter blur, Gaussian blur, the same, no, motion blur. And noise. The same here. I'm fixing all the transitions. Okay. Now I'm going to fix these black lines. We have some gaps here. And pick a color and fix the line. The same here, here. We need these lines to understand that this ring is glossy white gold and not matte. Because I have this line in layers, I can blur them, or I can lower the opacity of them. That's why I'm using, every time I'm using layers to do that. I must fix that, because this white reflection I like to be more here. And blur, Gaussian blur, blur, motion blur. I can smooth it. Okay. I think that we're in a good position to merge the group with everything we did and merge it with the ring. Now I'm going to create a second replicate layer of the ring, and I'm going to do image adjust desaturate, and I'm going to take the opacity in 50%. I think it's okay, because we have some color tints I didn't like in the stone and in the body of the ring. Okay, and then I merge it. Now we are going to do the third step, which is the smoothen step of the procedure, with filter, Topaz Lab, Topaz denoise 5. Okay, I have a preset for this client, but I don't think so that is so good. I'm going to see now. Yes, it's very strong. It's better, but I forgot to say that I'm going to duplicate again the layer, and I'm going to apply the Topaz denoise in the upper layer, because I'm going to show you in a moment. I'm gonna again in the preset of the client, I'm putting the strength in 0.3. Okay, you can see before and after if you click it, and then okay. Because I was applying the Topaz denoise filter in ordering, I smoothen also the diamond rock, the diamond. I don't want to smooth this area. That's why I'm going to create a layer mask, and I'm going to use a brush with 100% opacity and 30% hardness, and I'm going to remove the Topaz denoise filter from the stone only. You can see that it's like that, and because I have the ring without Topaz denoise, I have the stone and I have the body only with denoise. You can see the body only with denoise. Okay, and I'm going to make a 60%, I think it's okay, opacity of Topaz denoise. Okay, now I'm going to crop the ring before I'm going to sharpen it. I'm going to crop it, I think 700 to 700 pixel. It's okay, it's a good size for an e-shop. Okay, I'm cropping it, and now I'm going to sharpen first the stone with a sharp mask. I'm using for this size 1.3, it's okay I think, and 50%, 60 I think, maybe 1.5 and 7% is better. Okay, I'm sharpening then the second layer, which is the ring without any softness. Okay, but we can see only the stone because we have the layer mask of above layer. And then I'm going to sharpen, smart sharpen. I'm using this combination of smart sharpen and unsharpen mask, and I'm usually use the half radius in Smart Sharpen than the radius of a sharp mask. In a sharp mask I used 1.5, here I'm going to use 0.7 and 70% again. I'm thinking maybe 80, it's okay. Okay, you can see before and after. And now I'm going to do a sharp mask in the body of the ring only. I'm going to use a big radius, and now I'm going to merge these two layers, and I'm going to create a new layer copy, and I'm going to create more crowdust, and I'm going to use overlay in around 20 or 30%, and depends of what you want to do. Okay, I'm going to merge this layer, and I'm going to do again one unsharp mask in all the ring. Okay, I think it's okay. And now I'm going to create a shadow, because some clients want to have a shadow underneath the ring, and I want to say that this post-production is for catalog purpose. It's not so detailed, but for catalog it's okay. And I'm going to use the sponge tool to desaturate some small color diffraction in the stone. Okay, I'm going to create two layers for the shadow. I'm using the ellipsis tool, elliptical tool. Ellipsis, it's in Greek language, and I'm doing this for the first shadow. I'm creating two shadows, a base shadow and a smoother one. This is the base shadow. I'm doing a Gaussian blur. I think 7% is okay. And then I duplicate this layer and doing the blur, Gaussian blur in this, no, not Gaussian blur, sorry, motion blur in the same shadow. 250 is okay, I think. And we can fix the angle. Okay, I'm gonna drop the opacity 70%, and then I'm going to fix the opacity again at 40%, and I'm going to do again a motion blur in this 100% with the same angle. And if you can see the first and the second shadow, it's more, it seems more real with these two shadows, and you can play with the percentage. I'm going to merge these two shadows and I'm going to add noise until I can see it. I think 9% is okay. And you can see now the problem that we have in the ring. That's why I'm going to use the blur tool. Now I'm going to use it in 50%, around 50%. Now I'm in the shadow area. I'm going to implement the blur in every stroke border that I have a problem with the rough edge. Okay, that is my final image. I know that it's not so beautiful, but for commercial and e-shop purpose, I think it's okay. Maybe if you are more thorough with the technique, you can do better result if you have 10 or 15 minutes more. Okay, I'm going to flatten the image, and that's our ring. We are start from there and we went there. I think it's very good result. If you want to ask me anything or comment anything about my procedure, I'm glad to reply to your comment, and I'm glad to listen your procedure and your technique, and maybe it's better than mine, and both learn something. Thank you very much. I'm Marios Karampalis from Photography Studio. Bye.